Hey guys, we're back. I had a lot of people ask me how I carve my little rifles, and I told somebody that I was going to do a video on it, and here's an example of what I'm going to carve. But this particular rifle goes in with this carving here that I did, and it fits right in there. Now this is a little bigger than what my rough outs usually are, but I carve them. It's on the same principle of how I cut it out. The only thing different on most of my rifles on my rough outs, they have a small lever on them. But being a big piece, I'm gonna start, and we're gonna do one similar to that. So I'm gonna stick this back in, and what I want to do at first is start just kind of rounding this thing. It's just a little too square, so you just want to start rounding the barrel just everywhere you can. And I did draw a center line down all the way around my piece, just to keep it even. Now I'm rounding the top, and this will probably be maybe a two-parter. It's more involved than what you think. Right here, I'm gonna kind of square this off like that and round that barrel there. And this little area right up in there, that's where the sight is, the front sight of the rifle. But we want to think round, and where these rings are that hold the barrels together, you can go ahead and cut those down. And see, I'm carving over to my center line right here. And sometimes the grain will change on you and you'll have to turn around and go the other way. But that's not a problem. And just keep thinking around. It's looking pretty good right now. I'm even going to round where this hammer is in the back a little bit, not much. I need a little bit of that wood. And right in here where the lever is, I'm going to round it a little bit. Now all them pencil marks on there I taken off. Now I'm going to start shaping the stock of this barrel, of this gun. And like that. Take a little bit more right there. Now let's turn it around and go back this way. And you can see I'm cutting over to my center line. And you can use any kind of knife you want. Let's see here, let me get this going here. I start tapering this barrel like this. And I'm going right down to my center line. All right, let's see. That's looking pretty good right now. Now what I'd like to do, I'm going to put this down. I'm going to take a little flatter blade, and I'm going to kind of shave this, well, where the bandsaw has made its marks. And I'm just going to kind of shave that down. And this is mostly knife work. I will go back in and draw my lines back on. And see, I'm cleaning it up a little bit. It's a little round right up in there. I mean, we'll have to flatten that out. But before we do, let's go. And I'll have to draw back on my lines again on everything, but right now we want to think round. And the grain on these things, they will change on you. And you just like see it change right there on me, so I'm gonna have to go around this way. Yeah, let me turn it back this way. Make sure I get down to my lines. Now, right here, you want to leave a little bit of that. Let's cut down over here to the center. Now I'm going to come across the top just to kind of clean that up just a little bit. Just kind of shaving it, flattening it a little bit. And this is just pretty much whittling. So it's good to have a good thumb guard on. Now let's round it a little bit more right in here. Right in here. Now I'm going to take my pencil and kind of draw back on where my lines were. Come across here, up and across there like that. I'll do the same on this side. Similar to that right there. Now let's draw back on these barrel bands, I call them. I'm going to cut these in here just a little bit. There's one right here at the end of the barrel, and then there's one right here where the forearm of the stock is. And it comes around. I like that right there. Now, let's take a thin blade. Yeah, let's see, I can use this one right here. And you come in, and I just want to make a little bitty indentation across there and start making that band stand out just a little bit more. So I'll do it on this side here. Around that a little bit. Let's come down here and do this before we go all the way around. So we got one band going on that side. Now let's do it over here. And I'm just scoring this with my knife blade. And just recessing that just a little bit to where it looks like it's standing out. Now I'm going to go ahead and extend it on around. And there's one right there. And let's do this one. Now we'll cut back against that. Alright, that's coming in there pretty good. Let's get this. And we'll shave them down just a little bit more. Right now we will get them, I want to get them all the way around. Let's do right up here. And just score that with your knife blade all the way around. And I'm not being real aggressive right in here. I'm just barely making that stand out in there. Because you got, this is going to be your barrel, and then this right here is going to be where your shells are when you load them. That's your chamber. Yeah, let's clean this up. All right, it's shaping up. Damn, got that. Let me get this, clean it up a little bit more right in there. Okay, now let's get back to some pencil work. I'm going to come in right here, and we're going to set that hammer back down in that stock area. And I go in with a little V like this, make me a little V cut. On each side. Or you can do this with a knife, but doing it with the V tool just helps out a little bit. Now let's cut back against that a little bit. And we want to make sure we got the back of that hammer cleaned up. And what I mean by cleaned up, I'm talking about bandsaw marks. And clean that up right in there. And right here, I'm going to make a cut here. And make that hammer look like it's kind of going down into the barrel area. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting this line in here. And because we got to recess this line also. And I take also my number 10 millimeter B. And I just start shaving away. Or making a pretty distinctive line in there. About like that right there. Now let's turn it around and do this side. All right, let me put that out. That's what we've got so far. I see a little bit I want to address right in here. I'm going to round that barrel just a little bit more. Okay, let's do it up here now. Now here's the tricky part. We got to put this frontal sight on. And it's just a little V cut right in there. I'm going to use a smaller V on this. This is like a 1/4 inch. And just kind of get that little notch right there. Like that. It looked good. All right, let's do this side. And I know a lot of you guys carve your own guns and everything, but I'm just kind of showing you how I do mine. And like I said, most of these guns that I do are my rough out guns, and they are basically pretty much carved the same way. And I'm going to make a stop cut right in here. And we're going to relieve this a little bit. I tell you, I do find it sometimes useful to get a skew and come in here and shave this down like this. It kind of cleans it up a little. Gets a pretty good cut in there. You don't want to get too aggressive with your cuts. You can see I'm relieving that a little bit. Let's take a knife back in there now. Let's see here. Well, this part right in here gets kind of stubborn. You gotta just kind of play around with it. How much time we got there, Peyton?
Got about 5 minutes.
Okay. Now we'll take the skew and do the same on this over here. And you could lay this down on the table, but I like to have control of it like this, the way I'm handling it right now. And that's looking pretty good. Let's come in here and take a V and clean this area up just a little bit, like that, right in here. It still needs to come down a little bit there. Let's see here. Yeah, let me get a pointed knife here, more of a point here. And right in here, I'm going to make me a stock cut like that. And clean those areas out. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to connect this part of the rifle. I've got to relieve it also. And we can come ahead and go ahead and put where our barrels are going to be. Like that right there. Now we'll do it over here. This will be the forearm stock. And this is where the barrel comes. And the chamber right here. Now, let's see. I'm going to take this cut in here and do it now. So I'm going to come in once again. I'm going to score this line right here. Cut back against it. And shave it down a little bit like that. And come across here. Do the top of the barrel. And do this side of the barrel, of the gun. And work your way down across here. Like that right there. And I am going to kind of clean this up in here a little bit. It still had some places where the bandsaw had cut. And it's just thinking round. That's what you want to think on this guy. See, I'm rounding these bands, but I'm having to clean up on these barrels too. I got a little, well, see my grain changed right there. Yeah, that looks better. I am going to shave this back down a little bit more. I know I just draw the line in there, but it kind of helps you as you're lining stuff up. But we're a little thick right in here. I'm going to take some wood off there. And I see some bandsaw marks there. You want to try to get all them out of there. And I'm just not really digging in. I'm just kind of shaving across here with my knife blade. Just to clean it up. And right in here, I'm going to cut back against this a little bit. And make that hammer stand out just a little bit more. That come this way. What we're looking at on time,
You got about a minute.
A minute, okay. Well, in that, we will need one more video, but I want to kind of show you here how this will be cut in. This is where the trigger guard is, and this is where the lever it will be. And let's do it over here. Like that. And the trigger will be right in there. And right here. And it right here will be a little rectangle shape where you load the shells in your rifle. And there will be a section like this we got to cut that separates the stock from this part of the gun. And it will be just similar like that right there. Let's see, other than that, we did a lot. On the next video, we'll start shaping in this barrel and the end of the gun, and then we'll start cutting in here and get that. We'll have to relieve right in here, but anyway, that's not a whole lot to it. But like I said, on my rough outs, the little gun you get is it's just a little smaller, but it's carved the same way. So with that, guys, he's getting there. So with that, happy carving to everyone, and we'll see you on the next YouTube. See you later. Bye. We went